Hey, what's going on, family? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I am. That's all I can say. I am. That's about it. So, but we're here. We're back. I'm going to bring Brooks up momentarily. I had to get some things moved around in the house, trying to get the studio
I thought it was damn
fixed.
10 o'clock.
Say again?
I thought it was damn 10 o'clock.
No, it's we on at 9. Or
Don't
9.
mind, don't, hey, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
So with that being said, we'll hop in. I got you, Brooks. I'm gonna pull you up in a second here. Pull you up in a second. I don't know exactly where Lynn is, but I'm sure he'll hop on when he gets a chance. So until then, let's run it around real quick. Wig, how you doing this evening? How's your week been so far?
Hey, I'm good, bro. I'm real good.
I feel like.
I'm real good. Life
Yeah.
is good. Life is good.
All right. Brooks,
Yes, sir.
doing well?
How you doing?
Week has been good so far? I'm good,
Week
man.
has
You
been
got some
good.
rest in you?
It's busy but good. I'm disappointed that Lynn is not on because I really wanted to talk trash about his USD hat first. But I guess
He might
my
pop on
typical
that.
greeting to him,
Yeah.
But life is good.
Good. He might pop on after a while. We'll see. Rich,
Let's get to it.
let's get to it. Here we go. So, without further ado, I have been continuously scanning and looking through and looking over the war in Iran. And the question that I at this point I have to ask the panel is it time for us to leave? Is it time to be out of there? Oh, wait a minute. President Richard Lewis Brown, Tayana's man. I just tripped off of your name. What's that about? Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
All
I'll get it squeezed in.
Yeah, it's well deserved too. It's well deserved. So I'll pose that first to Brooks. I'll pose that question first to Brother Brooks. Is it time for us to get out of Iran, as it were? And let me preface that by saying this also. The president, President Donald Trump, has made a couple of comments about being in Iran. One of the things he said is that some of the family members of the fallen service members told him to stay the course and finish the job, is what he said verbatim. He also said he spoke with a former president who was never named nor identified, but the 4 surviving presidents have come out and their camps have issued direct statements saying that it was not him or them that they were speaking with. So, Brooks, is it time for us to exit Iran?
No. First things foremost, you don't start something like this and not finish it. If you do, that means all this was for nothing. It will continue for another generation. I'm 48 now, and it will go until I'm 68. And something will happen again down the line, and it just will perpetually continue. You can't have that. You have to finish the job. Period. You have to
finish the job. Now, okay, gotcha. I'll swing that. I'll pivot that up to Wig. Wig, where are you at? Do we need to stay and finish the job, or do we need to
Uh,
be pivoting out of Iran at this point?
Listen, staying and finishing the job. What does finish the job look like?
Great
That,
question.
that's a fair question.
You
So,
have
so
to set up Iran, or like, unless I thought you were asking me. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
no,
bro.
no, no.
Good,
So
good, good.
because if finish the job, look, if it finish the job, meaning finish the job, meaning the whole entourage have to go. You got, you're not gonna do that by bombing. You got to go commit soldiers and service members. You know what I'm saying? So that these people been fighting since Afghanistan, Iraq, and we ain't got the same army that we had 20 years ago.
Hmm.
We don't have the same. They don't have the same drive that we had. So I just want to know what does it look like at the end?
So before we touch on that, is that can I surmise what you're saying and kind of extract out of what you're saying, essentially as part of, yeah, it's time for us to go, or should we figure out what it looks like and stay?
No, 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 no. Okay, you're right. It's time to go. Cause this it's time to go. This you're not gonna win this battle. You're not gonna win this battle. We might would have we could have stayed and did what we needed to do it had he went through the United Nations and played the case there. But since he didn't do that and he went at it on his own, don't punch me in the mouth and then I start beating your butt and you ask somebody else to come here. That's basically what it is. So yeah, it's time to go. He just don't know how to get out. That's what
Okay.
I think.
I don't know how you use the United Nations as like a reason, man, because the United Nations hasn't done shit in like
Well,
forever.
before we touch on that point, because we are going to get there also. I want to give Tiana's man a chance to answer, and then I'll repose the question. Welcome in, Lynn. To Lynn. So what you got on at the proper time. We just jumping in it, Lynn. And the question that I asked the panel is essentially, is it time for us to get out? And I prefaced that by reminding people that the president has also stated that he spoke with a couple of our fallen service members' families who told him to finish the job, and he also spoke to a former president who has yet to be identified, uh, who told him essentially, well, he thought what he said is the former president said he wished he would have done it, right? But that's neither here nor there because he did not actually say a former president of the United States. He just said a former president. I just want to clarify that also.
President of the Rotary Club.
Hey, in his defense, that's what he said, right? But those were the two prefaces before actually jumping in on the question. So I wanted to swing that over to Rich real quick so he could jump in on that, and then we'll push it over to you, Lynn.
Okay.
You know what? I want Lynn to go first.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Here we go. So give me this question again.
Is it time for us to leave, to get out of Iran? Are we finished with this?
The answer to that question is yes, but the ideally yes, but reality we can't. We have to stay. Look, we have to stay and finish.
Oh, that's interesting.
We have to stay and finish, and it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute, in my opinion, but. Because if we cut and run now, it's an automatic L. And,
so, are we not taking an L right now?
We're taking an L on several fronts, but those are small battles and skirmishes.
Okay.
But so what I'm saying is, if you retreat under those small battles and skirmishes that you're losing. It's a It's basically, I'll give you an analogy. If your portfolio is down in the stock market and you pull everything out, you lock in your loss.
Yeah.
So, the United States, so much of this is about posturing and ego and being the superpower. The big kid on the block, all that stuff, that whole reputation is up for grabs. And I ask people all the time, would you like to wake up one day and see China in that spot? Oh, no. Would you like to wake up one day and see Russia in that spot? No. Then, you got to keep that spot. And they asked for $200 billion today, too. I heard that.
Yeah.
I know that really pleased the TSA when they heard that.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Ugh.
Lynn, I'm disappointed. I was really hoping that you would wear your USD hat, so first thing I could say is make fun of you about your hat. But you didn't, so I got nothing right now. But here, just for you, I got my Ohio State mug.
See, you said it wrong.
Just for you.
You said
the Ohio State University mug.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna lose you're gonna lose your card.
Yeah, he got
mistakes like that.
Ohio State University. Hey, at least you recognize that. You know what I mean? Like, now you're coming around. Hey, I got a T-shirt for you.
Okay.
That's funny. That is funny. So Rich.
What's up, Rich?
It's on you now.
What's up, Rich?
So I wrote this down. I said, finish it. Agree with Brooks and Lynn. Don't start something that you didn't plan to finish. Make Israel safer. And I'm not saying I'm pro-Israel or anti-Palestine. Don't read into that.
Sure.
Make Israel safer, along with the U.S. and other countries in the region. And here's where I agree with Lynn. I think we should mark the calendar. Trump presidency rests on this military conflict. I agree with everything Brooks and Lynn said. I have nothing more to add.
So, with that being said, I'll ask the panel this as a continuation. We found ourselves in a very peculiar situation. Outside of the impossible manner in which to state justification of being there, right? Because there's never been an actual justification. Despite top counterintelligence officials who I don't like whatsoever jumping camp at this point, because in his own words, he said he could not essentially turn a blind eye to being in Iran because it's a farce to him, right?
One official said that.
One official has openly he's
in his resignation letter.
In his resignation letter, he has openly, Mr. Kent, said that, right? So when you see MAGA saying that MAGA has become too MAGA for them, how then at this point are we justifying staying? What do we get? And I understand the look of it, right? But at this point, it feels like we're losing more than what we're gaining, because one of the things that Americans often forget, right? And we do this because of the fictitious narrative of American exceptionalism. We've literally never won a war in the history of the United States of America. We've never won a war by ourselves. We've always had assistance from another nation. What makes this different at this point? I'll start with you, Rich.
What makes this different about us winning this conflict?
It's
with
not a
Iran?
conflict, is it?
Yes, it's a conflict. It's only Congress
I thought it was an excursion.
or an excursion.
I'll beat me to that.
No, because listen, when people watch this show, people assume that we're gonna, always say this or always say that. As black men, we're gonna always do this or always do that. And this is a show with diverse opinions by different types of black men. So this is a conflict. Only Congress can declare war. Okay.
But he already said we're at war.
No, that's his adjective of the conflict. Only Congress can declare war. So I know y'all be on me about words and how I use my words, my reaction, and I don't want to get too much extra. But
because I heard her using that argument also, trying to differentiate the adjective versus the noun.
Well, wait a minute.
Of the term war.
If I remember correctly, the only wars we really had is World War I, World War II. I'm not sure if Congress declared war on Korea, if I'm correct. Did they ever declare war on Korea?
That's a good question. I'd have to go and check that.
They did not.
They did not. And they did not declare war on Vietnam. So Korea and Vietnam were conflicts. And that's why President Trump was so confident he could pull this off. This is another major conflict, quote, in the adjective form, a war, but in the noun form, it's just a military invasion, a conflict, an excursion, a brush up. Can we win this? Well, see, this is to me is a trick question, Mr. Glass. I mean, it's kind of like me going out to the nightclub and, let me give me a name here. Who was the famous model? Tyra Banks. And she says, oh, okay, Richard, I'll let you buy me a drink. Did I win? Well, what's the definition of winning? Is buying her a drink winning? Or is walking her to her car winning? Is escorting her back to her, $20 million home? Is that winning? That's winning in my opinion. But is that winning?
Look, you're on the road to winning. If you get back to the crib, her crib.
Well, then I thought that was you, Mr. Glass.
Even better, your crib. But her crib is nice.
Yeah,
So,
but
what is your
On the road.
well, even in that analogy, right? All it takes is two letters, and you still won't be able to finish the war, quote unquote war, by taking her back to the house, because all she has to do is say no, and that's done.
So did we take away Iran's nuclear? Did it last summer? He said no, not quite. Okay.
I thought he said he obliterated it.
Okay, I thought that was last summer.
Yep.
So, but now he said we had to go back. It was a quote, allegedly an imminent threat. So did we get rid of their nuclear capability now? I don't know. Did we really kill the top military leaders along with Khomeini? He says that we did. It's being reported that they're all dead. So if that part is true, that's somewhat of a win. Will he get the new leadership that he's looking for? I don't know. Will the people really support all of this in Iran? I don't know. Is this going to lower our oil prices? I don't know. Is this going to get rid of all terrorism in the Middle East and in the world? I don't know.
No, no. That would be a solid no, a hard no.
Okay, so I'm giving you more I don't knows than I know.
Right.
So when you ask me, is it winning? I asked you for the definition of winning, but with all the I don't knows that I have, I don't know what winning looks like. I stopped
But
there.
then, if you don't have, and let me speak to that aspect of it in a strategic sense, right? When you're planning,
Can you go around and ask the panel that question?
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get there. Give me a second, because we have to be honest. We have to be honest, and we can't play the verbal games that essentially come out to mean nothing at the end, outside of simply listening to the president often say the only thing that he's decisive about is, well, I can do whatever I want, right? He'll make that statement. He's made it on multiple different occasions. If when asked tough questions, I didn't know. I don't know. Are you supposed to uphold and protect the Constitution? I don't know. I got to get with my smart people. right? So let's talk about this from an aspect of strategy. Whenever you are sitting down with your leaders, with your senior military leaders, and you're strategizing how to do a thing, they're taking a process generally done within a joint setting, and they're getting intel from the different shops, from the J2, from the J3, from the 4. The J2 is where the intel is laid, and that's how most of the decisions are actually made outside of the 4, who are describing the logistics of the thing. If your J4 is in confirmation with your intel, and those two are saying, hey, this is not a win, and you say, well, define what winning means. We're not talking about the loss of life, because there's one thing that I do agree with him on, is that during a campaign, a skirmish, a brush up, or anything, a war, you're going to lose people. That's unfortunately a part of campaigns, regardless of the front that we're on. So what does winning look like? Objectively, if you can't pinpoint, we're going to take the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to eliminate their top 10 leadership personnel. We're going to restructure, rearrange METTC, right? The actual lay of the land, and then PMESEII. That's a huge acronym that simply means we're going to go in, restructure. These are literally doctrinal acronyms that are used for strategic level fighting that they have to go through. What does the lay of the land look like? Where are we going to insert troops at? Which troops are we going to use for this? How much is this going to cost? What's the risk to mission, risk to force, so on and so forth? And that's all done to describe what winning is. Winning is getting to an objective goal. It's not a vague thing.
Wait.
Be objective, not subjective.
No, wait.
Winning is not subjective when it comes to fighting.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. You're speaking like you served the country for a period of time. So, what veterans say winning is in regards to a military conflict or a war is one thing. What politicians say is another. And of course, the most important people are the voters across America. They'll tell us what winning is when it comes to a military situation. In fact, we'll find out this November. We'll find out if the voters of America say, we can't stand this war in Iran, or they'll say we can't stand that the economy is not better, or they'll say that we just can't stand President Trump. Something's gonna blow. So when you say that, you ask any sports team what winning is. You ask any person in America what winning is. Some people say, hey, as long as I have a 9-to-5 job, as long as I live paycheck to paycheck, I'm winning.
But it's identified. That goal has been identified. It's not.
No, by that one person,
Sure.
he subjectively said winning is working 9 to 5, living check to check. For
Right.
other people, winning would be as long as I can live for 6 months with 6 months savings.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say, well, listen, I used to be an alcoholic or an addict. So every day that I remain sober is a winning day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not disagreeing, but what I am saying is operationally, everything that you just said identified what winning is. There was literally an identification as to what winning is, whether it is, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, whether it was, I'm today I'll be sober, whether it becomes operationally, right? Whether it becomes, today I have a 9 to 5. That it's still been an identified thing. Objection. So if you have the objective and understand, because you've defined what winning is, backwards planning, you can actually take steps and measures. That's where we have MDMP, the military decision-making process begins.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
President Trump said he wanted a new leader. He's getting one. He's gotten one. So on that particular aspect, when he said, I don't want that leader, the former Khomeini, I don't want him leading the country. Now he has that. He got
But
a
Did
new
he say new
leader.
leader or did he say regime change?
Yeah,
I think he said
He said
both.
new
he
leader.
said them both.
Yeah,
I
he
think he
did
said
say
both.
both, but like, but he doesn't want his son. Like,
Okay.
because you imagine, right? You look at Khamenei, right? He's gone, and then they appointed his son, which not really change, even the same name, which is
Yeah, the
definitely
does
son's
not
not a
going to
change.
change.
It does change. I have to, and this is why this thing is actually so dangerous. Old men understand war. They plan for it, but it's never a thing that they actually engage in. What the previous Ayatollah had 2 fatwas, and you know what those fatwas do? And do you know what a fatwa is? From the leader of Iran. The fatwa that he put out, that's the law of the land. He put out 2 of them, and they both had something to do with not having a nuclear Iran, because to them it was immoral. That was the old Ayatollah. The new Ayatollah, those fatwas died. They ended with him. The new Ayatollah is a younger man. Have we never taken the steps to understand why the military recruits us at a specific age and a specific time? Because we're willing to go to war. We're willing to fight. We're willing to go where older men have already gone and warned against. The younger Ayatollah or any younger person in regime change at this point is so much more dangerous, because they will where he wouldn't. They absolutely will. They're dealing with younger men who have more of a reason, and a martyr, 40 plus martyrs at this point, not to mention their country, to actually execute on the things that the previous Ayatollah would not. I just wanted to throw that out there. But go ahead, Brooke. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Brooks.
I think, like, getting back to the crux of the matter here, and I agree with you about the younger generation. There has to be, like, they mentioned the objectives, right? Destroy Iran's air force. They did in the most part, but they still have all these drones. Destroy Iran's navy. They did in the most part, but they still have all these mines now in the Strait of Hormuz. Destroy Iran's ability to create a nuclear weapon or enrich uranium. They did to the most part, but they still have to go get the uranium out of there.
They
So
don't know
is
where
the
it is.
objective achieved? Yes, you're right. Is the objective achieved? No, 100% not. Until those 3 are done, like where you have to either, I don't even know how you destroy water mines. Until you do that,
You know who does know how to do it?
Iran.
Iran, and you know who else? Japan.
Right.
And who did he just screw? By pulling 2,000 to 5,000 Marines away from Japan.
Bam. I look at it like, until you accomplish those 3 tasks, this is not going to end. Because whether you get the intel from Japan by some trade or some, allowance or whatever, until you get rid of this drone stockpile, which they buy them or they build them for 20K, and we are using missiles for 1 million. Like, so that, like, I'm just saying 1 million because it's probably
I got
more like
you.
10
I got
million
you.
for a missile.
Yeah.
But like, until you stop that dichotomy of spending versus trying to destroy, and what they're doing, like, that's not winning. We've got to, like, eliminate one of those things first. You have to. You got to get rid of all the mines out of the strait. Put all your damn ships in the strait and just let oil flow. You've got to destroy that drone stockpile that they just have. And once you do that, then you know what? You've officially eliminated their technically Air Force, because whether you have a F-16 or whatever the Iranian equivalent is, and you don't eliminate the drone force, they still have air force. They still have air power. You know, whether those drones are unmanned or not, it just doesn't make a difference, right? Because they can just remote control those things, the kamikaze into it, whatever they want. You've got to eliminate it. The nuclear aspect is third, actually. Is actually third, because they're not going to send a missile over here. They're just not. And you've got to be able to, like, okay, let's prioritize here. You take the air, you take the sea. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead, Wig.
You know what's funny? You explained that better than what this administration ever said about why they wanted to do something. God damn it, they should hire you.
Hey, calm
Just
down.
say
I will not get into politics.
Hey, there's a position open, so you got to calm down. You put that out there, next thing you know. So how do we finish this, Lynn? What does that look like?
It's tough. You get control of the strait, and I believe the way we finish this and shorten it and get out of it with a head held high is that we have to be joined by some allies. I know it doesn't look like, the cavalry's coming right now, but that's the way I see it, coming to a head. Because Israel is locked in.
Yeah,
they're locked in. They're not, I foresee, even if we pulled out of this whole thing, Israel will still be lobbing missiles. So the way we finish this is by diplomatically convincing our allies to join us, because it would be mutually beneficial. Because right now, if things keep on this trajectory, the global economy is going to be bad for everybody. Nobody will be winning economically, and you're up against the country that doesn't care about winning economically.
Exactly.
But these are the same allies that he was, putting the tariffs on.
Yeah. Yeah, you tariffed them, you insulted them, you belittled them. Yep, you did all those things. And now you need to get on the phone and kiss some butt and get some allies.
We ain't gonna have no allies, guy.
Huh?
We ain't gonna have no allies. Because even when my man wrong, look, he can hear wrong, see wrong, and know wrong, and still believe a lie. So no, we ain't gonna have no allies. We better go. We better go home. We better go home.
If we go it alone, we just prolonging the loss, the L.
So let me say this, because I know a lot of times when people tune in, they see me and Lynn arguing, or I'm arguing with Brooks. We've got a problem. So remember what I said about President Trump? I said he's the greatest white man America's ever produced in his mind.
Yes.
All right. So, with that being said, you can't walk away. And I don't think you can spin this, because within your own MAGA movement, you have some MAGA people saying, you said America first. We don't care about nobody else. We only care about us. And then you have other people in the MAGA movement who are pro-Israel saying whatever Israel says we have to roll with, because those are God's chosen people. Of course, because they're
got it.
They're God's chosen people. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's in a dilemma, because the most important dilemma is his ego. And the last time I checked, white men in power don't like to lose at anything. and they don't apologize for anything from the left or from the right. Second part, I believe he's spoken to Barack Obama. Not Bush, no, because Bush ain't gonna talk to him because he tried to talk all that stuff about Jeb Bush and about his daddy. So no, George Bush Jr. ain't talking to you ever. Obama's a little trickier.
Why?
I just have this gut feeling that he talked to Obama, and Obama's probably saying, "Yeah, we should have went over there and cleaned their clock." But he'll never say that openly because
didn't Obama give him like $900 billion or something ridiculous?
Oh my God, no.
He gave them back their money.
Their money.
There we go. Thank you.
Yes, he gave them back their money, and it still failed.
What failed?
It still failed.
What failed?
So listen, this is where now this is funny.
The idea that like they wouldn't enrich uranium, they wouldn't.
So wait a minute, hold on, Mr. Brooks. So Mr. Brooks is not wrong, and neither is Lynn. So check this out. In my opinion, what President Obama did, he gave them back their money, but yet they demonized Obama, saying that he was giving terrorists money. He gave them back money that was theirs, but he knew in his heart they would probably do something nefarious. But he also knows that, listen, every country should be able to decide their own destiny. And
Richard, that money also had restrictions on it.
It did.
You couldn't just do whatever you wanted to do with that money.
Right.
So it was a controlled release.
Yeah.
Almost like they had to spend it and then give receipts.
Yeah.
What
kind of like an opioid pill you should take.
Yeah.
So listen, when he gave the money back, he knew in his heart they weren't going to do it correctly. But remember, President Obama was not pro-Israel. For some reason, him and Netanyahu had got into it about something.
But he wasn't anti-Israel either.
But he wasn't pro-Israel.
Right.
He was more, listen to this, he was unbiased.
Yeah.
He was giving respect to Jews and Muslims. He was treating everybody with fairness and respect because that's what he demanded as the first black president. So with that being said, President Trump is in a serious dilemma because his MAGA base is torn, and he needs, and so he has, they're torn over this, and then they're arguing over the SAVE Act, and he needs the SAVE Act so he can try to, quote, rig the election in November. And if he can't get it passed, then he'll say he'll lost the election because the SAVE Act didn't get passed. So he's doing this one thing on the home front, while he's doing this thing on the foreign front with the assistance of Israel. But the most important thing to Donald Trump is, as long as we ain't talking about Jeffrey Epstein, I'll do anything and everything. Anything. If that means I got to send some people off and they got to die, even some people who look like me, well, that's the casualties of a military conflict.
Including taking Cuba.
Say again?
Including taking Cuba.
Because, Cuba is next up. Right. Let's not that. So Cuba was spoken about several months ago. He mentioned it just like I don't understand why people don't see the strategy of this administration. Right. What they do is just like fishing, going fishing. Right. And what if you're a fisherman and you know how to set your area, right? You don't just go pull up to a lake, cast your rod, and think you're about to catch the best fish in the lake. That's not how that works. What you want to do is you want to get over to a spot. You want to throw some food in there and then go to the opposite side and fish on that opposite side for a bit. Every now and again, you come back over to that hot spot. You continue to throw food over there. Right, because you're attracting the bigger fish. You're attracting the bigger. You're gonna lead them on, right? But you go to that opposite side where they know that there's danger. They know that something's going to come, and every now and again you'll get a decent sized fish or whatever the case may be. But sooner or later you go back to that spot that you've been feeding, and you throw your line in, and you're gonna feel that yank, and you're gonna have a good fight, and you're gonna pull it out. This administration throws stuff out there. And they eventually come back and they hook something. They'll figure out what to hook. They hook something and they reel it in. He did it with Venezuela. He done it with Cuba. He did it with tariffs. He did it every time we found ourselves on this podcast like he can't do that. Project 2025. Every single time he's thrown it out there, he's set the traps just to swing back around when everybody forgot because he's fishing on the opposite side of the pond. Come back and then he'll hook the big one and he'll hurry up and reel it back in. The big beautiful bill. Threw a bunch of crap out there. Lies. Threw a bunch of junk out there. Not only did he throw a bunch of junk out there, but he's anyway, I don't want to monologue too much. But that's what this administration does. They've done it with Iran. No new wars. We've been in Nigeria, Venezuela, Cuba, Iran. Where else have we been so far? We've been so many. I've lost track.
We threatened Greenland.
Yeah,
Greenland.
Threatened Greenland. He tried to come back around to that and hook it and reel it back in.
We threatened Canada.
Yeah. This is
as a strategy. As you're right, Brother Glass. Like as a strategy, he has not been defeated at it so far. He just
agree.
Does the same thing over and over and over and wins. Like he just does. Like he hasn't lost at it. It's a great strategy if you really look at it. Yeah, it's a weird.
What about tariffs?
Sort of laissez-faire strategy. Say again.
Did he win tariffs, or is that a loss?
I think he would win tariffs.
How?
Because he threatened a lot of countries like raising tariffs. Wait. You asked me a question. Okay. He threatened a lot of countries raising the tariffs. He did it for a certain period of time. And then when they capitulated to what he wanted, he lowered them.
No, but his tariffs got struck down by the Supreme Court. That's the loss I'm talking about.
Don't he got to give all that money back?
Yeah, that's what's up for discussion now. Refund.
The tariffs were for he lost on indefinite tariffs. He didn't lose his ability to do.
That's where the money. That's where all that money got collected from. That strategy. Now those companies are suing left and right to get their money back.
And the tariffs that he got on right now.
Indefinite tariffs he lost on, but not like tariffs temporarily. He totally won on.
But now he can only have tariffs on for I think 90 days or 120
150 days.
150 days. Then Congress got to act.
And then they're over. Then they expire.
Yeah. Right.
That's only a half a year.
Personally, I don't see tariffs as a winning. I don't see that as a W for him.
Yeah, I think that's a big L there.
It was a temporary W, but as soon as the court strikes it down, that turns that W into a loss.
But what's crazy? I'm sorry, but what's crazy about that is all the money that was paid that we spent going to the store every day and feeding our families and stuff like that. We'll never see none of that money back. The money will only go to the corporations.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll go to the people that raise the prices on us.
Exactly.
So this is why I said this November is going to be so interesting. Because if Donald Trump is a detriment to democracy, the way the Democrats portray him, I don't want to hear no excuses about them not taking the House back. The Senate may be trickier, but they got to split those two houses. No,
you're right.
Those branches.
Yeah,
not branches, but they have to split. They have to take that house.
One of the chambers.
One of the chambers. Thank you. They have to take that house. If they don't take that house, and they don't have the luxury to say they got cheated, because when you talk about
they'll lose for a generation.
So when you talk about distractions, Mr. Glass, you talk about Iran, Nigeria, Cuba, Venezuela, Greenland, Canada. But the biggest distraction he's already set up, called the SAVE Act. Because if he loses in November, he'll say what he said in 2020. I got cheated. There won't be hardly no proof of that, but he's already built it in.
Sure.
And so he'll put the pressure on the Republicans to do anything they have to do in the Senate to pass that SAVE Act.
Well,
And if they don't get it done, he'll blame them for the loss in November.
And that's already going that way, right? So the House Senate, the Senate is already they're down at least 4 seats right now for various different things. But let me just say this, because you did say something that I agree with 100%, Rich. You were saying that it's winning is up to the voters, right? Right now, according to AP News, LA Times, Fox, CNN, PBS, and that's all I see right now, 53% of Americans disagree with Iran. 53%. That's over half, right?
What's the margin of error?
I didn't get a chance to look at that. So
Cool. Okay.
yeah, so it's 53% oppose, only 40%. So regardless, unless you're doing plus or minus 10, it's not gonna matter, right? It's not gonna matter at all.
You got a double-digit undecided.
Yeah. So it's
Brother Glass, I look at it like this. There's a whole bunch of people who are all quiet, like exactly what happened last time, who don't say anything to their spouses, who don't say anything to their friends, and they just vote the way they vote. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen again, because there's this pressure to vote a certain way in your society, because you don't want to get you don't want to be perceived as a pariah / oh, you're a MAGA supporter, or you know what I mean? Like, there's this pressure there, and so you just don't say anything. And when you vote, you just vote that way, and then you're like, oh, what did you vote? I'm like, oh, I voted for example, I voted for Biden, whatever, or I voted for Kamala, you just say it. It's a complete lie. But when the polls come out, that's the way it works, because there's this pure, unadulterated, if you don't think the way I think or vote the way I vote, you're a bad person. I've heard so many times people will say, if you vote for Trump, you're a bad person. 100%. And then look what happens. A lot of people are go ahead.
So, Mr. Brooks, let me ask you something real quick, because I kind of agree with you. Yeah. Now, the analysts say that every time a new president goes into office, he loses in the midterms. Are you going to say this is going to be a historical moment where the president does not lose in the midterms, his party won't lose in the midterms?
I don't think he loses in the midterms this time. I think it's going to be a surprise, because of exactly what I just said. I think this is going to be one of those things that are like, holy crap. And it's going to be an eye-opener, and all the pundits are going to be like, oh, we got it wrong, like they did again and again. The Democrats put Trump back in office with cancel culture. They did it. They did it to themselves with stupid stuff in San Francisco.
Man, I hate when he goes out. So I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying. What I am going to say, however, is putting some numbers to the feelings. And this is according to The Economist, and I'll look up some other articles in a second. 56% disapprove of the president, 39% approve.
That's in The Economist?
Yeah. Only 5% are not sure. So to his point, right? To his point, there are the quiet voters, right, who don't make mention of anything to spouses, friends, family, so on and so forth. They keep their votes to themselves. However, what I will say on this wise is we generally see the number pattern that matches those undecided voters, and we don't have that right now. We have more people who have decided that they don't want this administration. If the midterms were voted
Oh,
in tomorrow, it'd be over.
So wait a minute. So right now we're in March, which is month 3.
Yeah.
November is month
Month
11. So it looks like we have 8 months to go. Every day with Donald Trump is a day of excitement. It's like a day of The Apprentice.
like
He has
dog years.
He has 8 months to pull every trick that he can. 8 months. That's a long time to pull a lot of tricks.
I don't disagree with that either. I listen, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you all are saying. All I'm doing is saying, according to let me see, because I got a different article up now. Several recent polls have shown the president hitting multiple unwanted milestones, exposing possible political vulnerability beyond his core base. Let me go ahead. I'm trying to see if I can find the actual numbers on this.
No, listen, I'm not going to dispute The Economist. The Economist, the
Well, you look
Economist,
at that.
the Economist, the Wall Street Journal, they tried their very best to be very unbiased. They tried
Yes.
really hard. I mean, really hard. So if they're quoting me certain numbers, I'm probably going to believe their numbers, their polls. But, Mr. Brooks makes a great point, because I kept saying that Trump was going to get reelected in 24. Now, did I predict that he could take the midterm, the general, the popular vote, and the electoral college? Now, this is where Bill O'Reilly, in his own little network, he said he was going by new voter registrations, which favors the Republicans. He said he'll take both. Nobody else, and none of those other networks on TV were saying that. None of them, except for Bill O'Reilly. So on this, even though he was wrong about the war in Iraq many, many years ago, he had to apologize for. On this note, he was absolutely right. So that's why
you look at like sorry guys I dropped there, but you look at like there's no reason why Donald Trump should be president, except for like the people got so fed up with the Democratic policies and the ideologies that they were like, screw this. We're you know what, we want that guy back. But that's on them.
Yeah, and I have to disagree with you in part, not in as a whole, but in part. First off, America has an issue with women being in power, and America quadruples
America
down.
can smell dishonesty. American can smell politicians.
If that was the
bullshit
case,
speak.
Donald Trump would never have been president for a first term. If Americans
He
can
is
smell
looked at like,
dishonesty,
and I disagree with you, my bro. Like Americans can smell like, oh, you're
No.
just saying stuff just to say stuff, and that's what the Democratic Party just does. And yes, you're right. Donald Trump is probably a jerk, but like, yeah,
No,
they like
let's-
a jerk versus like a absolutely dishonest politician.
that's a horribly mischaracterized version of who and what Donald Trump is. Like, let's
Okay.
do his genealogy real quick. Let's start with his great grandfather, or let's just start with his grandfather rather, who owned a whorehouse. Right? Not only did he own and make his money from a whorehouse, but that's how he thought of and treated women. Let's move over to his go ahead.
One quick point on this. When it comes to men and lust and what we do with women and how we treat women, I don't talk too quick, because you can go to any group of men, white men, black men, Hispanic men, I don't care. Men in this world historically do not treat women right, period.
And I agree with you 100% on that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so now, not only do men not treat women right, but they teach other men how to do that, especially in America, where when you are a multimillionaire who has been taught through different generations that women don't matter, to the point where, and excuse my language, you are willing to admit in your first term campaign that you grab them by the pussy.
He was talking.
No, I can't accept that because that's not what that was. We know exactly what it was. He's treated women horribly because it's a learned behavior. Now I'm speaking to the psychology of this guy. I'm speaking to the psychology of America is what I'm doing. So when you tell me that America can smell BS, it cannot. Americans can't smell BS for several different reasons. One of the reasons why Americans can't smell BS is because America is full of shit itself. So it can't even decipher between the two smells. Is it me or is it you? Who's musty today? Right? That's one thing. Another thing is, right, when it comes to being able to tell what's true and what's not, Americans are easily led astray by entertainment. And that's all he has been. Do you hear the hypocrisy being stated? Celebrities need to stay out of our politics. And then not only is the Terminator a governor of one of the biggest states of GDP in our union, but you have The Apprentice, the leader of The Apprentice, who's a celebrity, has always been a celebrity. Always. It's a hypocritical statement. Americans don't smell BS because America is full of shit itself. It's impossible.
Okay. I look at it like, you know what? There's no way in the world that I ever predicted that the one Donald Trump would win, let alone win the House, the Senate, and the popular vote. Like that part, I was like, no, not a chance.
His first term, I did, and I'll tell you why.
No. His first term, fine, but like the second term, no way.
I didn't expect it, but I knew it could happen, right?
Democrats threw everything in the kitchen sink at him, and they still lost.
It had nothing to do with the Democrats. You know what it had everything to do with? It goes back to what I was just saying.
A woman.
Not only does America have an issue with women, America has a quadruple issue with black women. Not just that, but America is in love with its racial hatred.
So hold on
America
a second.
Loves you.
Why can't what you just said, Mr. Glass, about sexism, racism, and what Mr. Brooks said about the Democratic Party telling lies and they couldn't get their act together, why can't all of that be true?
It absolutely can. But I'm saying that more than likely, more than not, because let's be completely honest with this. If you had to bet on a politician being honest, I think we'll save ourselves some money because we know that they're not. We know that they're all not.
Hey, Jay?
Yeah.
Trump versus Barack.
He would have lost.
Thank you very much.
He would have lost. He can't beat a man.
He can't beat a man.
But like,
thank you.
Trump versus Kamala. Kamala, if you look at what she's like, Kamala's a moronic like orator.
Who?
She couldn't actually put together like a whole sentence.
I will wait for you to give me in the past decade. I will give you the past decade. I will give you that space to give me a coherent sentence that the president has spun together when never talking about policy. I will wait.
He can't even pronounce the leader's name when he's introducing. Orator, please.
You look at it like this. Most Americans can't. They're like, oh, like 90% of Americans just say what they fucking think. They pardon my language. What they think, what they feel, what they honestly feel, and like he taps into that. And if you have some fake politician who just says party line stuff, which Kamala did, it's just a fake nonsense thing, and that's why she loses. I don't really think it has to lose anything. I mean, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What did he tap into?
Wait, say again.
What did he tap into? You said he's tapped into something about how
he's really great at finding like how Americans speak, how Americans think, how Americans talk, how Americans like feel about things. That's how he won.
I'll tell you. Listen, Brooks. I'll tell you how he won. This is how he won. If you are a racist, then Trump is your guy. If you are a misogynist, then Trump is your guy. If you are a thief, then Trump is your guy. If you are a bigot or a felon or a raper of adults and children, he's your guy. So if you pull all of those people from the universe,
because like
they're voting for
I know
him.
some good people.
I'm not talking
I know
about
some
one
good
man.
People
I'm talking
who
about
voted
all
for
those
Trump,
men
or good women
all
who
of
voted
those
for Trump.
men.
So like that's just such
Trump
a
is your
vague,
guy.
wrong statement.
Well,
That's
No,
just
you
a
know,
vague, wrong statement.
listen.
No, it's not. It's my statement.
If that's the case, you're calling the majority of Americans.
No, I'm not. Brooks, what I'm telling you is,
Yeah.
this is what I believe, and you won't change this belief, is that if I'm a racist, I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm voting for Trump. If I'm a misogynist, I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm voting
So
for
you're
Trump.
saying the majority of Americans are all those four categories. That's so wrong.
Brooks,
That's so wrong.
Brooks, let me cook. I let you cook all the time. Let me cook, my brother.
Hey, but
if you are a rapist, you're not voting for Kamala. You're voting for Trump. If you're a felon, you're not voting for Kamala. You're voting for Trump. If you are a thief, you're not voting for Kamala. You're voting for Trump. You're not voting for an attorney general if you're a thief. If you are a poor business person, you're not voting for Kamala. You're voting for Trump. So Trump had the benefit of getting the worst. He's always talking about they're bringing the worst from Mexico. The worst of the electorate he attracts. And
so
that
you're
just
saying
says
the majority
that
of
there's a
Americans are
majority
the worst of the
of
electorate.
the worst of us in this country that voted. Because remember,
You're saying the majority of Americans are the worst of the electorate.
86 million people didn't vote. So I'm not talking
again. You're saying the worst of Americans are the electorate, and I just disagree
the
with
worst of the American voters were misogynists, rapists, racists.
Oh, that is nonsense, man.
Well,
You're talking about 86 million or 76 million people. That's nonsense.
Brooks, the majority of those people aligned with one of those.
So hey, I have a question. Wait a minute.
That is the president.
Hey, hold on. Let me jump in for a second.
That's just so not true.
Hold on. Hey, Mr. Brooks.
So inaccurate.
Mr. Brooks.
What's what I believe, and you won't change that belief.
Mr. Brooks.
Just like I'm not going to try to change anything you believe.
Mr. Brooks. Hey, I'm gonna jump in on this for a second because I knew Lynn was sitting back quiet for too long.
I know. I was watching him too.
Mr. Brooks, I want to ask you something. Are you there, Mr. Brooks?
I'm right there.
Okay. Because he's not totally right and you're not totally wrong. But here's a question I want to ask. Do you feel in your heart that a majority of white America find Black America as their equal?
Do I find the majority of white America find Black America what?
Do you think in your heart, do you feel in your heart that a majority of white America finds Black Americans or African Americans as their equal?
I'll give you the answer like this. I'm in a society whereby I've earned my stripes. As a past master of a Masonic lodge.
Okay.
And I did it all the way through, and I didn't worry about like what anybody else thought of me, except for like people were my friends, and my brothers. And like, and let me answer your question, man. I think
it's either a yes or a no. I mean,
no, it's not. It's
Richard,
wait. Let me answer
Richard,
your question.
You asking him to answer the question
what
that
I
was asked.
answer.
Richard, is that what you're doing?
Wait. No. Hold on. You don't get to
decide
what I answer.
How disrespectful!
Like,
Richard,
like I have earned my way into where I my career, in my station in the craft, in my in life where I live.
Right.
I've earned it. And so no, you can't just be like,
Brooks,
suffering
Mr.
because
Brooks,
like
Mr.
you're a
Brooks,
black
but
guy, dude. No.
Check this out. Mr. Brooks, I'm gonna say this in like 15 seconds because sometimes you talk for a period. I'm gonna talk in 15 seconds. In the foundation of this country, when free black men wanted to join the Masonic Lodge, they were not allowed, and therefore Prince Hall had to petition England. So there's your foundation in masonry for Black Americans. I stop there.
Well, let me also say this because California masonry is a bit of it's a special branch. But let's also remember, because I absolutely love my lodge in California. But what we can't rule out, Lee, us both being on a level, is the percentage of Americans that we make up, right? As Masons, we are not a huge group of men in America as a whole. That's the first thing. Secondly, Mississippi just once again decided not to recognize black PHA.
Okay. But again, in the founding of Masonry in America, Prince Hall, Mr. Brooks, because you're not the only one on this platform that knows about Masonry, okay? You just don't know. So black men in America who were free men of color in Massachusetts, the Irish Lodge let them join. But when they wanted to join the white one, they were not allowed because of racism. Okay, fine. And they petitioned and they started their own Mr. Hall, Prince Hall Masonry. And then later on, the ancient free and accepted started allowing black folks in. So when you make that statement that you never answered, does white America, there's a majority, I didn't say all white Americans, I said a majority of white America, do they find black Americans as their equal? Is it a yes or it's a no?
So then I'm going to say yes, because look at the result of what happened in that they put Trump back in office, period. If you were talking about going to full circle in regards to what we're talking about.
Fair enough.
And let me also say this. Lee. When you talk about the Democrats putting him back in office, I have to go back on what I said because I do agree with you. I do agree with you. And what I try not to do is talk about the past vote, but the Democrats ran a horrible. It was just an absolute shit show for what they did with VP Harris. So I can agree with you that the Democrats had everything to do with getting him back in office. It was horrible. They were sad. Let's be honest about it.
They didn't have like an open election on their own party. They shoved Kamala up to the ticket, and then she lost miserably. We're at the point where like Trump won the popular
Where is Deuce when you need him?
Stunned about.
Where is Deuce where you need him? Because Deuce will always, that landslide was not a landslide.
But hold on. I don't understand.
52 to 48.
Listen to this. Here's where we get ourselves into trouble. What Mr. Brooks saying is factual. What Lynn is saying is also factual. So when you look at someone's election victory, it's not just because of one single instance. It's a number of different cases that together put someone over the top. So Mr. Brooks is right in what he's saying about the deficiencies of the Democratic Party when they, quote, made her the nominee without even going through a voting process.
There was no time.
Okay, that's fine. And then when you talk about certain things,
that's just not even accurate, because they actually, when they did the polling in Iowa, she didn't even register on the ballot.
There was no time. There was no time to do a primary
when they had the Democratic
for a presidential candidate. There was no time.
Yeah, but like
from July to November,
when she was available, she lost miserably. She lost miserably.
Okay, Brooks, how many months from July to November? This is math.
I thought you were just being rhetorical. Sorry.
No, I'm not being rhetorical. There was no time. Period.
They could have
If I wanted to jump in and be president in 2024, and they came to me, I said, "There's no time for me, because I need A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we only have July to November. There's no time."
If you look at it like this. If you look at it like where they told us for 2 years that Biden was competent, Biden was great, Biden was like smart, Biden was awesome. No. You don't get to get out of it. Like Biden was sharp, and then he on the American stage bombed. He did. He on the American stage bombed.
They should have just let him stay there.
Okay. So
they should have just let him stay there.
Sure. That's a good point.
And prop them up.
Yep.
And put some like my boy would say, put some lipstick on that pig. So what shatters the Democratic foundation is you bail on your leader.
Correct.
That's like 10 men on offense bailing on their quarterback.
I agree with that.
Is that team going to win?
I'm not disagreeing with you on that specific statement that you just said, but like this is what they did. I'm just talking about facts, dude. Like they were like, oh, wait, for 2 years they were telling American people, oh, he's fine, he's sharp, he's cool, he's not sick, he's the best at and then like he gets up on stage and he's like blah, 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 blah. You know, like he just bombed.
But Mr.
in front
Brooks,
of the American people.
Right, but Mr. Brooks, Mr. Brooks, Mr. Brooks, when you say things that I know are the absolute truth, I agree with you. So my question is to you, Mr. Brooks, what mistakes has the Republican Party made since Trump's taken office, either in 2016 or in 2024? Have they made any mistakes that you can point out? Because if you can't point out no mistakes from the Republican Party, but every single mistake the Democratic Party has made, then you're no different than the Republicans who feel that they can do no wrong, but the Democrats can do all right. And the Democratic Party who feels that they do all right, that everything they do is perfectly right, but everything that Trump does is perfectly wrong. If you can't identify your own mistakes of the Republican Party, then you're no different than the Democrats.
I am not a Republican. I am an independent, let's be clear.
Okay, good.
And secondly, I look at facts. I've voted for Democrats before. I lived in Vermont. You know, I voted for Bernie. You know, like I met his wife. She's an awesome lady. You know, like, I voted for Al Gore, which was a mistake. But like, I got to see Hillary Clinton. Like
comments on YouTube.
I got to see Hillary Clinton speak. And I look at it look at the facts, look at like what's actually happening, let alone my emotion about it or not, or my personal opinion about it or not. I'm like, wow, this is a dumb ass party, the Democrats right now.
Right. So what mistakes have the Republican Party made with Donald Trump in 2016 or in 2024? What mistakes have they made?
I just told you I'm an independent man. Like I
you can't answer the question because you're independent.
Exactly. What mistakes has the Republican Party made in 2016 or in 2024? Because you're pointing out all the mistakes they made with Kamala Harris.
How can you point out Democratic mistakes if you're an independent? Yeah. How come you got the Democrats on lock if you're an independent?
Because they're dumber than the Republicans right now.
Huh?
They are.
So what mistakes have the Republican Party made under Donald Trump in his first term or his second term? Have they made any mistakes, Mr. Brooks?
Oh, I'm sure they have. And
give me one. Just give me one. Just give me
one. I love this. I love this. I'm ready. One.
I think like getting involved in, I would say, that's a great question, actually. I'm trying to think of like three.
No, don't do that. Just one, player. Just one. I only got room in my head for one.
Well, your head's small then.
Nah, like, funny.
Are you trying to say I got Trump hands?
I'm trying to think of three.
You trying to say I got Trump hands?
Like solid three.
So I'll go because I'm an independent and I get sick of both the Democrats and the Republicans, and I've spoken at length about both parties. Right, I have, and I know sometimes it sounds like I'm a Democrat. I am not a Democrat at all. And I'll if like historically speaking, like I understand where the Dixiecrats came from, but also know that the Dixiecrats were absorbed into the Republican Party. So the ideology of slavery and non-progressiveness that the Democrats held, that was absolutely absorbed into the Republican Party back during LBJ time frame. That's another story for another time. But I've talked about the Democrats being weak. I've talked about the Democrats not holding out when they should have, not having a leader, having shifty goals, not being strong enough to stand up for the people of the United States of America. I've spoken at length about that. The same way that I've talked and said, I've asked everybody who voted for Trump. We had multiple different people on that voted for the current president. And I just asked a simple question. Under what policy do you agree with him on? So I'll actually re-ask that to make it a bit simpler for you, my brother, which one of Trump's policies do you agree with?
Just one.
I loved how he
Keep it right in
supported
my
the
small hand.
HBCUs because
Okay.
my uncle is a coach for an was a coach now for HBCU. And for
But he
the
didn't do anything for
previous generations, it was always 1 year. Then you had to go back up and ask for
Right.
funding. And, he got it for 10 years. I
Hold
thought
on.
that was
Wait a
incredible.
minute. I brought that point up, Mr. Brooks. I agree with you that he did something for the HBCU because it had labs. What I simply asked you was, give me one character fault that the Republican Party has done in 2016 or 2024 under the leadership of President Trump. I asked you for just one character fault. What have they done wrong? You give me everything the Democratic Party has done wrong under Kamala Harris when they were running her for president.
I think, okay, I'll give you a character flaw. Trump is an asshole. Trump
No,
is
but
like
that-
the worst. Wait.
Let's
You
talk
said
about the
character
party.
flaw.
Party
Wait.
itself. What have
the Republican Party, not an ad hominem. We're not talking about an ad hominem about the POTUS. We don't really know him, honestly, enough to say whether or not he's a butthole or whatever the case may be. We have our opinions about it from afar. But what has the Republican Party done wrong since they have recaptured the executive branch and the legislative branches? Right? Since they have both, thank you for the gift. Since they have both the Senate majority and the House majority.
And the judicial.
And I didn't want to say anything about the judicial on purpose.
Actually,
I was
like,
trying to leave that
captured the European Union to be able to like work with everybody. There's no teamwork in this. There's no that's what I think they did absolutely wrong. There's no teamwork in it.
But
There's
the
no
Republican
like
Party?
sense of cohesivity. Like you're like, man, like he's fighting every single country all the time.
Okay.
Like,
Thank you.
The no wars president?
Like,
No comments.
say again?
The no wars president? He's fighting everybody?
All the time, arguing with everybody all the time. And I think like if you were like a no wars president, if you were like a guy who unites, you've got to be able to like eat some crow sometimes. You know what I mean? You've got to be able to like, okay, I understand why Britain doesn't or UK doesn't do this. I understand why France doesn't do this. I understand, and still be cool with them, not be like, oh, screw you, I'm gonna tariff you, right? Like there's I love WWE wrestling. There's a wrestler, his name is Danhausen. And so anytime anybody disagrees with Danhausen, he goes to them, you are cursed. And like, that's what Trump does. You know, like if you disagree, you know what? Germany, you are cursed. You know, like, and like, don't get me wrong, the character in WWE is awesome. It's funny as hell. It's great. But that's what Trump does. And I dislike that immensely about him.
But that's not the Republican Party. That's not the Republican Party.
That's him as an asshole.
Yeah, the president isn't the Republican Party. I understand that the politics that they're playing, but the president isn't the Republican Party. So let's just be honest. Okay, so this president has had the most backing of just about any other president because of the majority that he's had, the luxury. No other president would have been able to get a bill like the Big Beautiful Bill passed because it was absolute trash. It was absolute trash. And they campaigned for him. The Republicans came out strong, and they continued with their message. They were together on that message, and they actually got it passed, regardless of what the Democrats did and how the Democrats voted. They got it passed.
Mr. Brooks, let me ask you this question, because I appreciate what you said. Do you think, this is how I say this to you, Mr. Brooks, do you think that possibly the Republican Party made a mistake by giving big tax breaks to the wealthy or to these businesses, big corporations? Do you think that could possibly have been a mistake?
Bunny, good question. I love it. The best answer that I ever heard to that question was when Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton in the debate, and he destroyed her. and he said, "Oh yeah, because your friends get the same tax breaks that I get," and that was to wrecked her.
But
So
right,
no,
do you
like,
think?
no,
Do
I
you
mean, like,
think?
I get it. Like, if I were that rich, dude, if I was in that position,
You just coming
I'd
on with a
probably do.
sword.
I'd be like, "Hey, Donald, what the hell
Okay.
did you
So,
do?
Right.
Can I
So,
do
Mr.
the
Brooks, I
same
remember him
thing?
saying
How
that.
did you do it?"
Right, Mr. Brooks. I remember him saying that with the Hillary. That's a great point. But
Yeah.
what I asked you is the Republican Party, do you think they made a mistake by giving in the big beautiful bill these huge tax breaks to these corporations? Do you think that could have possibly been a mistake? Possibly.
No. Well, I mean, like, no. I mean, like, that's like, maybe in the future might change my answer, but like, again, I look at it like, what actually happened? Like, she called him out in front of the debate.
No.
And
I'm talking about right now in
he
the big beautiful
laughed at
bill in
her.
2024.
He
No,
laughed at her.
Brooks.
I'm talking, no, Mr. Brooks, listen to me. In 2024, when President Trump got the big, beautiful bill passed, I'm asking you specifically for 2024, when that bill
25,
got
Rich.
passed-
25.
I'm sorry, 2025, forgive me. 2025, because he got elected in 24. In 2025, when he got that bill
Right.
passed, big, beautiful bill, do you think possibly, here's the key word, possibly giving those big tax breaks to the corporations was a mistake?
I think hypothetically, possibly, as your word is, I don't know, because we have to see it from the future. We have to see
Okay.
it in 2028, and then we can
That's how-
revisit the question.
That's how Richard was sounding when it came to terrorism. I was talking about him, but I'll be honest with you.
That's fine.
I don't disagree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, Brooks, because I don't really blame President Trump for much of anything that he's doing, and I said that last week. I blame all of this on the Supreme Court of the United States.
Citizens United. Citizens
Yeah.
United.
Citizens United. I blame this on them because they literally said that he could pretty much do what he wants, and he's been.
Citizens United says that corporations were people and they can donate to the campaigns.
Well, not just
As
that.
much as they
but-
want.
Yeah,
Huh?
but not just that, but they also after his first term,
Right.
right, when they essentially granted him everything that he's doing, presidential immunity,
Okay.
and they said that it's a continuation even into this presidency. They told him he could do whatever he wanted to,
Yeah.
without repercussion.
Yeah,
So
if
I
you have a kid, listen, if you have a kid and you tell that kid, hey kid, you do whatever you want. What do you think the kid's gonna do?
Whatever he wants, whatever they want.
He is not gonna stop ever and say, oh, I shouldn't do that.
I'll
No.
ask you, how did Super PAC start? How did Super PAC start? It wasn't with the Republican Party, it was the Democratic Party, Super PAC.
No, it was Citizens United.
Yes.
That was Citizens.
Yeah, let's say the Super PAC thing for another night, because I wanted to talk about APAC. Speaking of Super PACs, but we didn't get a chance, and I didn't think we would to really talk too much about Cuba. But so
Nobody cares about Cuba.
I do. I care about Cuba because I mentioned Cuba several months ago in passing.
Cuba is going to listen. When Fidel Castro died, the trick was already in. The brother already said, hey, look, as soon as my brother's out of here, we open for business. All the Cubans in Florida can go back to Cuba now, or they can run it from both directions. It's over. It doesn't matter. It's a non-issue.
All I'm saying is no new wars, but Cuba is going to be the 51st state.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
No. You can't make Cuba a state before you make
Puerto Rico
a state.
Thank you.
You can't do
Puerto
that.
Rico.
We want a real civil war.
Or the Samoan Islands.
The Polynesian
Marshall Islands.
Hey, listen.
Puerto Rico is next.
That's
Thank
why it's funny to me. That's why it's funny to me,
that ain't
because
funny.
Cuba,
That's
it's
so
not
Puerto
funny,
Rico.
but it is
It's
because
be a
people are going to
US
take it serious.
territory, like the Virgin Islands and all that stuff.
Right.
It cannot be the next state.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just saying what's going to be said soon. Mark
Okay.
my words. It's going to be said soon.
Look, yeah,
Like, this is our trend.
yeah, because like Jay Glass, like me, you have raised little kids, and you know,
Yeah.
you tell a little kid, go off.
All right, listen. This is
They gonna
driving
go
me
off.
crazy. Hey, this is driving me crazy. Let's
What's
talk about the important issue right now, because this is driving me crazy.
All right.
I want to know, because I had a conversation with an African American woman, and we were arguing over Sinners versus, oh God, what's the name of the movie?
One Bad Day After Another.
Another Battle After Another.
Yeah.
Okay. And I watched both movies. I really liked every Sinners. I didn't. Okay, so Sinners I didn't really care for, but that's fine. It was still cool. So at the Oscars,
Tell me why you didn't care for Sinners.
All right, Brooks, let him cook. And then
just real quick.
Okay.
To me, it was just another horror movie, but I was told I wasn't looking at it deep enough, and I didn't understand the symbolism and all that, and that's fine. Maybe I missed it. The other movie with Teyana Taylor and Sean Penn, Leonardo. Now that tickled me to death because it was wild. It was different. With that
I saw
said,
both movies.
Okay, with that said, Teyana Taylor's behavior. This is where I kind of look at America and I say, this is interesting. So they said that she was over the top. Either she was on drugs, crazy, drunk, couldn't contain her emotions. And so I think we're judging her by the European yardstick, see? So when we get judges, African Americans by the European yardstick, boy, if we ain't Barack Obama, boy, we ain't got nothing coming. I mean, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they set that bar too high. Thank God they're out of office. Because every time they stayed a day in that office, that bar got higher and higher.
Hey, tan suits. We can't even wear tan suits no more.
So my question is to everybody, do we think that Teyana Taylor was out of pocket with her behavior when she grabbed her director and put him in a little playful headlock, when she got into it with the security guard? Real quick, that's it. That's all I want to get somebody's opinion.
I'll say this. When you win an Academy Award, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Pardon my language. I grew up as a theater guy who has an undergrad in film, theater, radio, television, film, and theater, has a master's degree in radio, television, film, and theater. It is a dream of mine growing up. I talked to my mom to win an Academy Award. Now that obviously dream is changed and I'm working different sector, but like back in the day, I was like, sweet. I was like, this is what I want. And if I ever get a chance to win it, I'm going to say what I want. And more importantly, when I found that earning a master's degree that day fulfilled my heart in regards to what I wanted to do, when I understood what it meant growing up where I did, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And I said whatever the fuck I want. And you know what? No, so I don't really blame that, dude. Like sometimes, like, if that's your first nomination, it's your first win. Sometimes you gotta let it go, dude. Sometimes that is the way it is. So no, I don't blame her for whatever she said at all. So sometimes winning speaks for itself. If you're an Olympian, right, and you're the best on the damn planet, and you're a jerk, and you were like, yeah, come get some, and what you gonna do when I'm the best on the planet with the gold medal on the top part of the stage, runs wild on you? What are you gonna say? You can say whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
I don't even know what's happened. I got to go and check it out.
You didn't see the headlock?
I didn't watch the Oscars. I haven't seen any.
You hear about her being pushed and she had to check the security guard?
Yeah, she got shoved by a security guard.
The only thing that I know about a security guard is Jasmine Crockett's security guard got killed by cops.
Damn.
One of her
He was living dirty.
It's possible, but I'll definitely go back and check it out. But I apologize. I can't. I don't know because I didn't see it.
All right, so I will tell you, I enjoyed both movies. I enjoyed Sinners more than I enjoyed One Battle After Another. But they were both great movies that I would watch again. As for Ms. Taylor's behavior, there's a split in the Medeiros household. I thought that what she did at the time that she did it was not appropriate.
Ooh.
Period. If I was walking across the stage getting my master's degree and I put the president of the university in a headlock, what do you think would happen to me? So winners can't do whatever the hell they want to do. You need to read the room. That is the pinnacle of award shows. There is no higher show than the Oscars. So when you're in that room, I believe you should behave appropriately.
Wig.
Truth be told, no,
Steph?
I'm not disagreeing with you, my friend.
Hey, I have something.
Hold on.
I
The
gotta
other half of the Medeiros,
Yeah.
household wants to chime in.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Steph.
I feel what what's his name? I feel what he's saying because you're excited and everything. First of all, what I want to say is hi everybody, and the other
Hey.
is she did this on their way up the steps. She was not standing up at the mic and put the man in a headlock. When you see it, Jay Glass, you're gonna be like, oh, you probably be like, Dag, because that's what I said. I said, oh, Dag, she's rough with him, but evidently they're cool because he didn't look like he just looked excited. So read the body language. It was real quick. It was like Halle Berry and Swordfish. Anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, yeah, they were just excited. She was a little rough with them. It was on their way up to get the Oscar. She did not go before the mic and cuss. She didn't have to be bleeped out or anything. They went up there and different people spoke about it, but I don't think I would have did that. But again, I'm not her. And or anybody else that goes up there and says anything else. She did what she wanted to do. That was between the two of them. And that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go check it out.
And so you know what I love about an argument that you can make. So remember when Chris Rock got slapped?
Yeah.
Right.
By Will Smith.
Could I make the argument that they're boys, they're cool like that, and they that's their horseplay? That's what they do. Can I make that argument? Can I make that argument? Okay, that we're not judging the argument. Can I make it?
My bro, you should probably not do it in front of the other half, bro, because happy wife, happy life.
No. Because this is why I end up on the winning side of most arguments or conflicts or whatever that I get into. And this right here is not one of them. This is not one of them. But I can argue both sides.
Sure. You can. Yeah.
I can argue both sides, and most of my opponents cannot. Hold on. They can, but they don't. And when they don't have the ability or demonstrate the ability to argue both sides, your argument, in my opinion, then becomes compromised.
Sure.
So all I'm saying is, because people think that I'm judging them when I'm just judging the behavior. I love Tiana Taylor as an actress. I had no problem with her character in the movie. She was ratchet. She was hypersexual. She was all of that. She's an actress. She's playing a character. Unfortunately, people got in their feelings, then saying, oh, well, this is what they think about black women. No, I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
If a woman, and this was mostly women that I was hearing from, Richard, taking the position that Tiana Taylor was giving black women a bad look in the way she portrayed that character. The belly out, shooting a gun, the hypersexualism, all that stuff. I loved her character. I can't think of a character she's played that I haven't liked, if not loved. To me, she is a great actress. I'm sorry she didn't win an Oscar because she delivered an Oscar-winning performance.
Okay.
Now, I'm sitting here saying, wow, Sean Penn got the Oscar. I would have loved to see Delroy get it. But guess what? Guess what? When I'm being real, Sean Penn was
incredible.
He was incredible in that role.
He was incredible.
And that's the way. So I'm not saying, oh, Delroy should have won it because he's 73 years old, he's black, and Sean Penn already got 2 of them. No, I'm going head to head. In my opinion, if I got to choose between Sean Penn's performance and Delroy's performance, it's close.
Yeah.
But I've given it to Sean.
And
I love Delroy.
Yeah, me too.
Loved him in Malcolm X.
What's his name?
Well, West Archie, and then Archie, he should have won that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy she headlocked was, I think, Paul.
Yeah, the director.
Okay, so listen, if he ain't said nothing about it.
Yeah, but Steph,
yeah.
Sometimes people do things.
Look at his face.
Sometimes people do things. You have a problem with it, and you don't say shit.
Oh, I know. I do that a lot.
Right. Exactly. So do I. So that's what I'm saying. So the fact that he hasn't said anything about it, to me, means nothing. Because I've had people do stuff to me inappropriately in the wrong spot. I had to read the room. Look, Chris Rock had to read the room.
Yep.
Because I know where he's from. And he had that same, he had that same stance that New Yorkers and Phillies have when it's about to go down. And he checked himself.
And he explained why.
He knew what was at stake. And then he had the wherewithal to parlay that into his road show and make millions.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, every year at the Oscars, you're going to see articles about people who've been banned from the Oscars. I've seen it the last couple of years. Now, why are they printing those articles?
Because it's still a thing.
Because Will Smith is banned from the Oscars.
It's still
a thing. 2025 or 2034 or something like
30s, into the 30s. It's a 10-year ban.
10-year ban. Okay.
No, he's missing something. So
still got his book.
This is what I'm talking about. I bet you, if you could ask Will Smith, do you regret what you did? His answer would be yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has cost him immensely.
Yeah.
So there you are.
He was on Drink Champs, and he got asked something about that. He said, so he was asked if there was ever a time where somebody didn't pick up the phone for you. You know, you Big Willie. Is there ever a time somebody didn't pick up the phone? And he said the day after the Chris Rock incident, he couldn't have nobody would answer the phone for him. Nobody was touching him with a 10-foot pole. He was by himself. He was in the valley. Yeah, absolutely radioactive.
Yeah.
You know, and I highly recommend to go and listen to his answer on that, because he gives a lot of good insight on it. I got his book. I love his book. That's just me though. I'm a Will Smith fan regardless. So Wig, I didn't skip you. So what's your take on it? I know you're still here. Yep, that's what I got. That's it. It's right there. Yep.
I love Will Smith, but in that moment, his
Disappointed.
Behavior was unacceptable.
And for people
Absolutely.
who thought it wasn't real, you wouldn't.
Oh yeah, how long was we going with the stage?
Yeah, look, I was trying to say he would not tank his career like that. Even though he did what was the name of the slave movie he did right after that we watched?
I forget the name of it, but it was on. He did an excellent slave movie on Apple TV.
Excellent.
Yeah,
but it wasn't enough.
No, and it was a 14, and not just that, but it was based off of largely another book that I got over here called Barracoon, the last slave ship.
Yeah, the slave that took the picture with the back.
Yeah. God, if you really want a good book to read, you get down to chopping up some things when it came down to slavery, and actually that's a whole other story for another time. I don't want to go too far into that. Wig, did you freeze up or are you stuck? Oh no, you ain't freeze up. You was like that. Okay. All right, you on mute, bro.
You got Oscar commentary, Wig? You got an Oscar commentary, Wig?
No, man. I can't even watch the Oscars. Actually, I don't like them.
I didn't see him. So if I guess you like me, we neither one of us have a big opinion, but I'm gonna watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I watch him to see what the other folks are doing.
Gotcha. I
want to know. I want to be in other folks' business.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's push it around the horn. Actually, Will, give me a second. I'm gonna put you up first for you to get around the horn.
Now he
So you
looks.
went.
Oh, okay.
So it's me. It's on me.
Yeah, it's on you.
I'm just praying for us, brothers. That's all I can say. I'm just praying for us, man. Cause boy, we and I was telling my wife tonight. I said, "Oh, I got I got a granddaughter." I said, "That's who I really feel sorry for."
Yeah.
Our kids and the kids that they're gonna have. Cause it's gonna take a long time to get pulled out of this area here. So that's all I got to say. I'm just praying for us.
All right. I got you. Brooks. You still with us this round?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Around the horn. Yep, we got you. Last time you were snoozing on us, but we got you this round.
I know. It was a long week. I will say I love the discussion. Thank you, everyone. Always. I appreciate you. Yeah, sometimes I disagree. Lynn, next time wear the USC hat so I can wear my Ohio State hat and make fun of you rightfully. But love the topics that we've come up with, Brother Glass. And like, yeah, I really do appreciate this because it really matters to me as a person who doesn't go on like social media, doesn't give a crap about celebrities and their lives or anything like that because they don't talk to me. They don't affect me, you know, but like you guys do. You guys are a part of this and I really appreciate it.
I can dig it. Steph, did you want to go around the horn or you was just up to?
Well, yeah.
She said yes.
All right. Well, you'll be next.
Look, put her picture up there.
First.
I got
Yeah.
I just said put her picture up there.
Yeah, I got you up there.
Thank you. Well, I like Lynn said with the Oscars, we knew who was coming up. So because we are movie buffs, we like to we enjoy movies, and so it's just interesting to see who won, who didn't win, and it also helps me with my checks and balances, making sure that I'm not like totally biased. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what Lynn was saying about Sean Penn, his role versus Delroy's. Now, I'm a Delroy fan. I was able to meet him, I think, in '99, and he didn't think I knew who he was. So I'll end with this story. It was at a Joe Torre basketball event in St. Louis.
Torre, of course.
And that's Joe Torre. Yeah.
Wasn't it both brothers? Joe and God?
It's Joe Torre's event.
Okay.
It's called the Joe Torre Celebrity Basketball.
Yep.
And I met him there, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm such a huge fan. And I was all, young and in my 20s. And he was looking at me like, you don't even know who I am. And I said, excuse me, Mr. Delroy Lindo. So that made him smile real hard, and he appreciated me knowing who he was. So that was a fun memory. But yeah, and I like how you see the other actors congratulate each other, or at least be professional for the most part, or just decent people. It's kind of like politics. They argue on TV and during debates, and look, they argue on podcasts, but then at 10 o'clock hour it's a different thing. Yeah. They're on the golf course together. So it's almost like a checks and balances. Some things are crazy and what's going on, but overall I enjoy the camaraderie of the people and the artists that we like. But thanks for letting me come on, because I'm doing some things in the kitchen and all this kind of stuff during this time, and I've enjoyed listening to all of you, even though I'm gonna pray for Mr. Brooks. But Mr. Brooks not doing. Guess what? I was a theater arts. What was it? Theater arts major, and I did mass communications, and television broadcasting was my master's degree. So we're kinsmen on that part. Or kinsmen.
All right, I'll take that and pray for you too, sister.
Oh yeah.
All good.
And of course, right after Steph, we got none other than Mr. Lynn.
All right.
All right. We covered a lot of ground. We covered a lot of ground tonight, but I think our main topic I'll circle back to, which is is it time to pull out from a war or conflict or an excursion that was once again, in my opinion, a demonstration of poor leadership. Because if you are thinking about America first, you don't, my conversation with BB would have been like, all right, BB, if you want to, mess with them, that's nice. But we got stuff that we need to take care of here back on our own continent. We don't need to be getting into, and I would just fall back on what I promised. I promised no wars. I promised America first. I promised getting the economy back on track. I promised full employment. I promised getting jobs back from overseas and back into America. I promised, and I would just go down the list of what I promised and just, say, I can't get into this war with you. And, let the chips fall where they may. But instead, he chose to enter into a conflict without taking the proper steps. So now you asking for $200 billion and you didn't ask for permission, in the first place. That's like stealing your parents' car and then asking them for gas money.
Yeah.
Like, you wasn't supposed to be driving the car in the first place. Now you're out of gas and now you need somebody to come and fill up your tank. No. So now you're in a bad position. And, everybody who knows me on this podcast inside and out is that I'm about leadership. And what I've seen in both of his cracks at being POTUS is just a failure at the highest level of leadership on this globe, on this planet. Just failure after failure to communicate, failure to delegate. And then, when you delegate to the wrong person, failure to take responsibility. One of the hardest things that you have to do sometimes is fire somebody that you hired because it's going to be a bad look on you. But when that's when you're thinking about yourself. But when you're thinking about the organization, it becomes an easy decision. This person is not good for the organization, so I need to take them out of this position and not give them something else that I made up. As I was deciding to fire them, just get rid of them because they are bad for your administration, your organization. That's what you need to prioritize. And this leadership is not like that. And if I were to give a leadership symposium, I could do it real quick in seconds or minutes. I could just put up a picture of the current POTUS and say, don't do that.
Yeah.
And you'll be a great leader. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. I almost started clapping. Rich.
I'm saying I'm off the screen.
Oh, okay.
So I want Stephanie to hear this. And I want Mr. Brooks to hear this too.
I'm here.
First, it's hard for me to criticize a person that's won 2 different elections for the presidency of America. I'm told every day that I'm in the number 1 country and we're the most powerful country on earth and the president is the most powerful person on earth. That's what I'm told by mainstream media. So I have a hard time saying about his leadership. But I want to touch on what Lynn said before I go into my quick little spill. I'm about sincerity. I don't care about your leadership if you're not sincere. So it's kind of like one battle after another for us in America as African Americans. So let me.
What's the password?
The password?
What's the password?
Tiana Taylor. So I'm glad that you brought that up. So let me talk about her. I got some strong words for her. And I got some strong words for her. First of all, I'm sexually attracted to Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
And her golden brown skin and perfect smile. Let me say it for you again. I am sexually attracted to Tiana Taylor and her golden brown skin and perfect smile. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, I deeply respect her amazing singing, dancing, and acting talent. She is an asset to the African American community. Okay, so I can't comment on Black women when I'm attracted to these women because of my implicit bias. Maybe my mother and my aunties, maybe Kat, maybe Mrs. Johnson. I don't know. Did you notice how I said golden brown? So, I want to be sincere and honest in everything I say. Now, all that extra energy she had that night at the Oscars, I wish I had that in my life. So I'm not pulling out regarding Tiana's behavior. I'm not pulling out. I'm not going to criticize her. I'm going to stand by her side. And oftentimes, we as Black people in America, we're judged by a European yardstick. But like I have said repeatedly throughout this show from the time I first came on, we dance differently. Not that I'm a dancer, because I'm not. We sing differently. Not that I'm a singer, because I'm not. We play music differently. I can't play music. We make love differently. So, with that being said,
hold on, we didn't get a performance evaluation on that.
As that one sister told me years ago, she says, "I can look in your mouth and tell what you do, Mr. Brown." I said, "Okay." Because I was looking at her jawline, too. So with that being said, I am very happy for Tiana Taylor. And, I know a lot of times, we're supposed to be at our very best when we go outside the community. And I understand what Lynn is saying. But I also understand what Stephanie is saying. And I also understand what Mr. Brooks is saying. So with that being said, Tiana Taylor, you keep doing you. You keep striving, being all that you can be. And one battle after another, we will win this battle one day. Let's keep hope alive. There are no perfect people on earth. And let me end by saying this to all my Latino friends. All this recent uproar about Cesar Chavez and these allegations, and maybe they're true because Dolores Huerta said that he did some things to her that were not right.
She got 2 kids.
Ooh, sorry. Okay. I got it.
My bad.
I got it. So with that being said, I am not going to destroy that man's work for some of his negative attributes. And with that being said, let me be consistent. I'm not going to despise Reverend Jesse Jackson or any man, regardless of their color, when it comes to their behavior towards women, because we know in the foundation of this country, women have not been treated right. And I'm not saying that every time a woman screams rape or sexual assault, she's telling the truth. Erastus Brown, July 10th, 1897. I love you, Uncle. So we have to take each case by itself. But I want to say to Cesar Chavez and his family, I still respect you and your movement for union, for pro-labor. And I say that for Tiana Taylor. So when people tune in tonight, when they watch our shows, and they always said that we're always screaming for Black folks, wait a minute. We scream for everybody because we want to be treated with fairness and respect. We just ask you to treat us with the same measure. And sometimes that measure is not based off the European yardstick. The yardstick is based off of righteousness. I'm done. Thank you.
I dig it. I appreciate that. I don't have much time because I can't go over 2 hours. I need to make sure I might be able to hit that auto generate for AI. But what I will say is this morning I woke up and I was listening to Dr. George Frazier. And I love listening to him. And I was talking to the one perfect person the one person one of the people on earth that I think is perfect. I was talking to my lady, I was talking to Maya, and doing a bit of a check-in with myself and bouncing some stuff. We were bouncing ideas off of each other, trying to be progressive and stick to our goals together. So I am going to talk directly to our community, to the Black community. And I'm going to say this with love, but also with conviction. I am tired of us looking at white people and blaming our problems on them. Not everything that happens inside of our community at this point is because of a white man. We teach ourselves bad behavior, we model bad behavior, and we celebrate bad behavior. And we refuse to remove ourselves from said bad behavior. During these last 2 years, this would have been the best time since we've had President Trump in office for the Black community to get its shit together economically. We had every single reason to get ourselves together. But have we? I bet you we've continued to invest in Jordans. We've continued with mass consumerism, and we own nothing. Still, we don't have basic economic responsibilities for each other. We don't have life insurance. We don't have health insurance. We're still funding these things. We can't go to another person inside of the community to actually put money up for a stage to put ourselves out front and promote ourselves, regardless of whether or not we agree with what's being said by us. We can't support ourselves because we've not given each other the ability to succeed in the same fashion that we've run to other cultures and celebrated their culture. St. Patrick's Day just passed. How many motherfuckers was Irish? I ain't never been Irish before. I ain't did no genealogy, but I think, because I drink, I might be.
I got 8%.
Well, and I do too. But Juneteenth come around, and we still have a problem with trying to celebrate that with each other. I'm just saying, this is the perfect time for our community, our culture, to take a look in the mirror, get some therapy, heal ourselves, and become economic powerhouses. We spend billions of dollars. America has projected us and knows exactly how much we're going to spend, and we still give it away. We don't give it to each other. We have no economic prowess, and because we don't have any economic prowess, we have no economic power, we have no economic voice, we have no seats at the table, and people will continue to define us and make us act accordingly instead of defining who we are and making these motherfuckers act that way. We have to stop. That's our fault. That's all us. Nobody else. That's us. So I just wanted to take that time to give us a heart-to-heart so that nobody can ever say, oh, y'all just talk about how bad white people. We don't talk about how bad white people are. We talk about how bad people are. We talk about the human condition in general. That's what we talk about, to be honest with y'all. We're talking about the human condition in everything that we're talking about and saying. So just tap in. Continue to tap in. Like and subscribe. This is America. This is America. And so I am at an hour 58, 59, got a minute left. So as always, thank you all for coming out. God bless and good night.
Good night.
Good night.